scream bravo. Also, if you didn't know, this is called the show.
Good morning, everybody. Give me a moment to adjust my camera for this. Welcome for Indies. Today we're going to be looking at Indiecron, a complete lister of campaigns going on in the independent comic book world. This site's amazing. There's been a lot of labors of love to go into this. So it's really great. It's good to see it evolve. At one point, they were just representing one group of people. Let's call it out, Comicsgate. No problem with that. Comicsgate's got some of the best creators in it. So they were smart to do that. But they've started to branch out and starting to cover other independents. I think it's great. Because one of the problems I see when I'm diving into the indie market, you go through Indiegogo or you go through Kickstarter, it's really hard to discern who's what and what's who. So these guys try to lay it out for you as far as organizing it all. They don't leave anybody out. Well, they do, because you have to submit. You have to submit your work to them. They just can't cover everybody. So if you're an independent person right now, or independent artist, creator, and you're looking at this, really, really look at this tool to help your campaign, okay? Now, I wanted to start this I for Indies talking a little bit about how helping promote indies really goes against my business model. Indies these days, they don't need a retailer like me. I'm not a retailer yet, but I'm going to be. So the indie scene doesn't really fit my mold. And to clarify, the deep down indie scene where they're making direct contact with their customers, taking out the middleman. And it sort of bothers me for one reason only, because I want to put them in my shop. I have pride in showing off indie comics. As you'll see in future editions, you'll see where I do that. You also see more of my love-hate relationship with indies. I just can't give them up. But when I was getting ready to do this, it reminded me. Go back to my introduction to Gold Gauntlet Comics and Collectibles. This is my mission statement. If you remember, I had inspiration the old-fashioned way. I thought about what I wanted the mission statement to be, and I wrote it down on a napkin. So by showing these indies, I'm sticking to my mission statement. I believe in my mission statement. Okay? Gold Gauntlet Comics are experts that grow the comic book culture by inspiring persons to collect, buy, sell, and create all things having to do with comic books. Period. Okay? So I'm sticking to my word. I'm sticking to my mission statement because I believe this mission statement is going to take me to where I need to be. I believe it's going to help me build my business. I believe it's going to help me make a legendary comic book store. If the comic book store doesn't work out, I think it's going to help me make a legendary comic book presence, whether I be on Amazon or I'm on eBay, whatever comes of it. So, I just want to touch upon that, why sometimes these indies are a little hard for me. Like I said, in future episodes, we're going to dive way back into the 80s and how I fell in love with indies, pretty much based on spec because of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. More on that in future episodes. So let's hop back over here. So as you're looking at Indiecron, it's called the Indy Hub. And up here you have your books are ending next. And they have a scrolling page down here with these books. Now up here, you have a submit now. I'm showing this because this shows how you can submit campaigns, you can submit books. There's your forms. your little disclosures. All right, so let's go back to the home page. It does run a little slow. This has really been a labor of love for the people involved. They don't make much money off of this because they don't charge listing for these books. Here you have campaigns at the top. It's a listing of all the campaigns that have been featured on Indiegogo. Click here for upcoming. Remember, these are all indie artists. Tim Lim. Downcast, one of my favorite guys on YouTube. You see him in my video for YouTubers that inspired me. Ethan Van Sciver, Cyberfrog. We're going to be doing something special for him in an episode. So, there's your campaigns that have been featured. This is interesting. At the top, we have creators. And actually, I love this function. Because if you have a favorite writer, favorite penciler, inker, colorist, letterer, even streamers, you can find them on here. So here you go, writers, pencilers. There's a lot of talented pencilers, writers, inkers coming over and doing independent books now. The next big one that everybody's talking about is Sean Gordon Murphy. That's huge. He is legendary. If any of you are familiar with him, you know what that means, that he's going to be walking away from the big two and creating his own stuff. Inkers, colorists, letterers, streamers. Look, there's Alterna Comics. Love those guys. Brad Ashworth, Antonio Bryce. Here you have upcoming. These are books that are upcoming. If you have to save some money, get ready to back them, you can do that. Let's just pick one out randomly. Actually, you know what? Let's go with Ethan. Rainbow Brute. I remember the time he did a stream where he created Rainbow Brute. It was hilarious. So here you are on his page. You can scroll back and forth to see his art. But if you go up here to this top corner, click it, you get a much bigger picture of his art. Yeah. Ethan is hilarious. Got a little Care Bear going on here. And then to close it, just go down like that. Oof, that looks goofy. So it gives you the writer, the artist, and of course you can go, I'm going to go Kyle Ritter. He's a fantastic colorer. It'll take you right to Kyle's page. Gives you his crowdfunding total, different projects he's working on. He's doing a lot. Look at that. Mostly on Cyberfrog, and then he's doing Vestige too. Let's get back up to the top here. Sorry, guys. And of course, you have Merch. What do you want to call it? Merch. And this gives you, this is actually how Indiecron is getting funded, I think. Unless they have other things going on. I don't know. It's their business model. You can pick up some nice hats, beanies, t-shirts. So let's go back to this main page. basically work our ways down. This may be a little bit of a longer video, but there's so much to go over in this. So you go down. You have your current active campaigns and fulfillment, fulfilled, and closed campaigns. I'm going to leave the link for this in the description. Now, over here, you can actually click this. It shows you people with the least funding, people with the most. How you want to approach this is, the way I approach it, you got to remember, just because this is low, don't hold that against them. That means they're heating up. And now might be the time. So you have their status, e-backers, he's got 5, $80 average, genre, and the creators. CB Smallwood, another one of my favorite guys. See his stuff. Come back up. Go ahead and go active. Shows you everybody's active. In demand. And then the all-time list. Here you go, Jawbreakers right up the top there. It's still in demand. Eric Weathers is a great letterer. I've seen his stuff. He does a wonderful job. Let's see. Let's do fulfilled. Shows you who's done. This helps you, if you've purchased or backed somebody, you can see where they are with the status of their books. If they're fulfilled or going towards fulfillment, you can see that. Another cool thing, if you come down here, last updates every 10 minutes. Total funding, total goal, total backers, average backer contribution. That's for all these listed. And these are doing pretty darn good. Look at that. This is interesting. $45. Another thing to keep in mind, and you'll see this as you're exploring Indiecron, is that a lot of these are trade paperbacks. So your prices are going to be a little bit higher. They're not, for the most part, floppies. It'll signify if they're floppies or not. Go back to home. It's got a couple more things to show you, and then we'll be done. Thanks for hanging with me this long. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit of a longer video because there's so much to cover on this fantastic site. It's basically, this is the gathering spot of all indies being backed on Indiegogo. There's an advertisement. Now here's your list of upcomings. You can do it by established launch date. Genre. Well, they're actually working on this. We can search genre. And then, of course, your creators. As you go down, that's what you got. So, that's Indiecron. Sorry, guys. Indiecron. I suggest you go on and look at it. A lot of cool stuff coming up. A lot of the big guys like Ethan Van Sciver, Mike S. Miller, Doug Tenaple, they're all going indie now. If you don't recognize any of those names, you need to look them up. But I can tell you, for example, Ethan Van Sciver, legendary artist at DC Comics with Green Lantern, Mike S. Miller, several titles, Doug Tenaple, Earthworm Jim, mega success, both inside and outside of the indie world. So basically, this is my tool, so I don't have to go searching on Indiegogo or Kickstarter to find a book I like. It can be such a pain in the butt. Thanks for watching. Remember, Thursdays is Hulk Fever. I'm really not doing good at it. You guys might find it funny. That's okay. I hope you do, because I just get so entranced in reading it. I'm a true fan, and I'll follow off the story because I'm just looking at the artwork while I'm recording it. And I go into Hulk Fever. So that comes up on Thursdays. I'm trying to hit that consistently. And then Friday is I for Indies. We'll see how everything goes. I might have something for Wednesdays, either a little Wolvie or a little Daredevil or both. So thanks for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Make sure you like and share. And I have more terrific content for you. Thank you so much, everybody.